We're here back in the fantasy bar, small slate of games, but some big tournaments out there. I'm here with 6 of my favorite plays, including a couple teammates I'm looking at tonight in MLB, a starting pitcher with some big time upside in the mid-range, my favorite value play on FanDuel, and of course, my favorite bat of the night. Who is it? Belly up to the fantasy bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Thursday edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack back here once again, providing 6 of my favorite plays for this smaller slate in MLB. 5 bats, 1 pitcher for you here, covering both FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the video. Now, before we get into the plays, as always, first thing, you guys already know the drill. Hit that thumbs up button. Really helps us out here on the YouTube. Also, make sure, and I just said on the YouTube like an old man, showing my age here. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get notified when these videos are coming out. We're doing both MLB and NBA all different days of the week, so make sure you get those notifications. Last, make sure you guys take advantage of the special pricing over at scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs, covering all the major sports, all the analytics and stats you're going to need, and premium picks from some of your favorite RotoGrinders personalities. Go check it out today. The link is in the description right below the video. Click that, get signed up, scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, let's talk some baseball again. A limited slate, but still got some big tournaments, and we are here with those plays for you. So let's get started today. We're going to start at first base with Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs. So Rizzo been kind of quiet lately, and this is more anecdotal. I just think he's a much better hitter than what he's shown lately. So the old he's due, whatever you want to call it, I think he's going to get it going here sooner rather than later, and I really like this matchup here tonight with Mr. Tomlin. We'll get to him in a minute, but we know Rizzo's numbers solid against righties, 227 ISO. But really what I'm looking at here, he matches up pitch-wise with Tomlin, and that's something you can find in our Plate IQ tool here on RotoGrinders. If you're not a premium member, you're missing out on a ton of information, but we'll give you a little peek behind the curtain as we always do here. And that pitch, the cutter, again, 401 WOBA and a 316 ISO against that pitch, and Tomlin uses that half the time, 50% against left-handed hitters. Also, that lethal mix we're always talking about gives up a lot of fly balls at 43% and a lot of hard contact at over 49% to left-handed hitters. So there's a night Rizzo's going to get it going. I think this is the matchup here with Tomlin. Prices are down. Get him in those lineups tonight on both FanDuel and DraftKings. All right, let's move on to our next hitter. This one is interesting. Priced up on DraftKings and priced down on FanDuel. We're talking Alex Verdugo of the Red Sox. That DK algorithm prices him up to 4,600. FanDuel, meanwhile, we get him under 3K, making him a tremendous value over on FanDuel. In fact, I think it's the best value we have on the board over there. Don't hate paying that price on DraftKings either, because this guy's been very good against righties. 380 WOBA, 220 ISO over the past couple seasons here. And Gibson gets a ton of ground balls. Not a guy generally go out of my way to target, but when we look at some of the other numbers, strikeouts, almost 9% lower strikeout rate against lefties than it is against righties. Hard contact rate at 38.5% as well here. So again, not a guy I overly want to go and stack up against, but Verdugo, especially on FanDuel, is going to allow you, if you're going after Trevor Bauer, you want to spend some money on some higher end bats, this is going to be a way to help you do that. And even on DraftKings, like I said, at 4,600, he's the bat I want out of this Boston lineup in this matchup with Mr. Gibson. All right, moving right along, let's go back to the infield here. Can utilize him at second or third base. We're talking Ryan McMahon of the Colorado Rockies. So McMahon been solid lately, hits in 8 straight games, and also tied for the major league lead with 8 home runs. So 8, the number here, lucky number for Ryan McMahon. But the power been a nice surprise here for McMahon. It's always shown potential, but to be among the league leaders in home runs, a bit surprising to me. But again, power's been there, 218 ISO against righties over the last couple seasons, and really loves hitting that fastball, 377 weighted OBA against that number. Weaver uses that pitch 54% of the time against left-handed hitters and has really struggled against lefties as well over the past few seasons. 373 WOBA allowed, 272 ISO, and again, that mix of fly balls, hard contact rate, both numbers sitting right around 40% against left-handed hitters. Great matchup for McMahon to surge ahead and take the lead in the home run department. So don't be afraid to pay those numbers for him on DraftKings and FanDuel. 3,400, another good value tonight against Mr. Weaver. All right, let's move on. We got to get you a starting pitcher here. I promised you a guy in the mid-range with some upside. It's exactly what we're going to go with. Adbert Alzolay of the Cubs. So pitching tonight, obviously Trevor Bauer, the headliner. The prices are way up there. It's not impossible to get him. DraftKings, we know we need two, so I don't mind pairing those two up if we can do it. And his price at $7,200, more than fair. And he's shown us plenty of upside here. Now, only has faced the Brewers here. 3 starts this season. All have come against Milwaukee. Kind of strange here. But the strikeouts, really the name of the game here with Alzolay. Almost a 32% strikeout rate since 2020. But when you look at right-handed bats, we're talking over 36% against righties. And that's the reason I'm interested here against this Atlanta team who runs out a majority of righties in their lineup. But yes, you got to deal with a guy like Freddie Freeman from the left-hand side. We know Acuna, a big-time hitter, but you get through that. I don't fear the rest of this lineup here. So I really like the spot with all them right-handed hitters in the lineup. And we look at that lineup, 7 of the 8 projected hitters, 20% or higher strikeout rate against right-handers. In fact, 5 of those bats, 25% or higher K rates here. So risk reward, yes, you got to get through them big boppers, but with this being a right-handed heavy lineup, with his success against righties with that 36% strikeout rate, and with these prices in the mid-range, this is definitely my main target at the pitching position. Loving the prospects here for Mr. Alzolay tonight against the Atlanta Braves. All right, back to the bats here. We're going to go to the Dodgers, second base or outfield here for Chris Taylor against the Brewers. I really like the spot for the Dodgers here, and Taylor been a guy hitting well, 5 straight games with hits, 2 multi-hit games over that time. Big time numbers here against left-handed pitching with Eric Lauer on the hill, 295 ISO against lefties. Woba approaching 400 here, and a guy that hits fastball as well. We're going to dig back in to the pitch types here. Lauer uses that 54% of the time against righties. We're talking a 311 ISO, so a lot of power against it. Also a Woba over 400 at 411. I know the BVP kind of ugly here against Lauer. I'm throwing that out the window here. Love this matchup for Taylor tonight against the Milwaukee Brewers. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Thursday night in MLB. But before we do that, we want to continue our Beast of the Night contest. A thank you to you guys for hanging out here in the fantasy bar. So how do you play? Very simple. Get in the comment section right below the video, and all you have to do is guess fantasy points from my highest scoring bat of the 5 guys I'm going to give you. Don't need a name, just a number. We're going to go with FanDuel tonight. The closest guess will win themselves either a free 3-day pass to RotoGrinders Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Let's wrap this baby up. My favorite play for Thursday night. You know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time, and we're not going anywhere. We're staying right there with the Dodgers. We're going to stay on the infield at third base with Justin Turner, tonight's Beast of the Night. So I said I love this matchup here, and the Dodgers definitely a stackable team, going to be popular. I don't care. I want some exposure here, especially to Justin Turner. 409 weighted OVA against lefties, 252 ISO. Guess what? Also hits the fastball well here with Lauer, throwing it a ton. 449 Woba against that pitch in a big 372 ISO, so ton of power here. And Lauer has really struggled against righties over the past couple seasons. A Woba approaching 450 to right-handers, and also giving up an ISO of 270, so allowing a lot of power as well. Dodgers in a smash spot here tonight. Turner, the main bat I want, not only on the Dodgers, but on this entire slate. Easily my favorite play on the board, and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up here for Thursday night in the fantasy bar. Any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget fantasy points from my highest scoring hitter on FanDuel for a shot at some RotoGrinders Premium. If you're a sports bettor, and even if you're not, you want to check it out, go and get the link, scoresandodds.com/beer, right there in the description. Get signed up, can pay for weekly, monthly, or the best deal yet, pay for the entire year, get access to every single sport. Football, draft is tonight, football's right around the corner, golf going on, baseball, NBA playoffs, so much information in there, guys. Promise you're going to like what you see over at scoresandodds.com/beer. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Best of luck for our NBA folks. We'll be back tomorrow with a basketball video, so stay tuned for that. But guys, thank you for watching. Good luck tonight, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist